pupil of mine before he turned to evil.
Spoiler alert. The devastating revelations in the Acolyte's finale were accompanied by unsolved mysteries, such as what the Stranger's true identity is. Since his debut, the Stranger has been one of the Acolyte's most enigmatic characters. The Stranger seemed to prefer that nothing about him be known, not even his true name or how he fit into the Sith Rule of Two.
I killed Jedi. I killed those who threatened my existence.
In The Acolyte, Episode 5, the Stranger even justified the massacre of 7 Jedi on Khofar by citing his need to maintain his identity as a secret. It was obvious that the Stranger took great pride in his true identity and that he would murder to keep it a secret. There may now be some clues as to the Stranger's genuine identity, and there is most likely more to his true identity than the Acolyte has disclosed thus far. Numerous clues regarding the identity of the Stranger were given in the Acolyte's epilogue, and they seem to point to the fact that he holds the key to bringing even more Sith Lords into the High Republic era.
You.
Welcome to Movie Spy. The unknown is Vernistra's previous trainee. Vernistra and the Stranger had a past together, as the Acolyte hinted at in more than one episode. The Stranger revealed to Osha in the Acolyte Episode 6 that he was once a Jedi.
You speak as if you were a Jedi.
I was.
But that someone had thrown him away, and he became silent when Osha speculated the person could have been his Jedi Master. Vern also appeared to be having attachment issues at the time, as evidenced by the fact that she named her ship after Imri Canteros, a previous Padawan. But in the end, the Acolyte gave the clearest indication yet about how to link the Stranger and Vern. The Stranger was not wearing his Cortosis helmet when Vernistra landed on Brendok, so she was able to detect his presence through the Force. Vern's exclamation of "you" upon sensing the Stranger was another indication that she recognized him. Thus, Vernistra appears to be the source of all the hints the Acolyte has provided thus far on the Stranger's Jedi Master. Given that she was most likely the Stranger's previous master, their relationship may provide clues to his identity. Imri Canteros is the only Padawan Vernistra has had thus far in the canon of Star Wars, and there's a slim probability he turned into the Stranger. Imri and Vernistra had an extremely tumultuous relationship, primarily as a result of their circumstances. Imri was stuck in the Nihil occlusion zone when their time together started, and he later gave up his lightsaber to focus on humanitarian activities. Even though the Stranger might be an older Imri Canteros, that doesn't seem likely given that Imri and Vern parted ways amicably and that Imri had previously resisted a dark side temptation. But there's still a slim probability. The Acolyte altered Vern's character quite a little, and it might have done the same for Imri. Presumably, Vern's light whip is the source of the Stranger's injuries. The Stranger removed his shirt and waded into the waters of the unidentified planet he brought Osha to in the Acolyte, Episode 6. When he did that, a big, widespread scar across the entire length of his back was also visible. The scar appeared to have been created by a lightsaber whip rather than a regular lightsaber blade because of its unusually bent and uneven appearance. It appears that Vern gave the Stranger his scar, based on the shape of the scar and the knowledge that he had a past with Vernistra, who was known for using a light whip. Given that she most certainly caused the scar on him, the Stranger and Vern appear to have had a major falling out at some point. Although the specific nature of the falling out is still unknown, there might be more information from a separate Star Wars story. Ben Solo and Luke Skywalker drifted away in Star Wars: The Last Jedi when Luke detected a deep darkness in his nephew and attempted to halt it before it took root. Vernistra may have gone farther than Luke and attacked the Stranger if she had detected a comparable darkness in her Padawan. There are other Siths active right now aside from the Stranger. However, the Stranger's connection to Vernistra wasn't the only clue as to who he was. Darth Plagueis, the Sith Master of Sheev Palpatine, appears to have made an unexpected appearance in the Acolyte Episode 8, suggesting that he was on the unidentified planet when Osha and the Stranger were. The Stranger alters everything with his appearance. However, it's unclear exactly how he and Darth Plagueis are related. Prior to Palpatine, the Stranger might have been Darth Plagueis' apprentice if they were acquainted and working together. In Star Wars Legends, Plagueis only had one apprentice, Palpatine, but that doesn't mean the Acolyte can't bring in another. The Stranger may also be Darth Plagueis' rival. It's also possible that Plagueis and the Stranger were adversaries rather than collaborators. The Bith Darth Tenebrous, the Sith Master of Darth Plagueis, was infamous for having a second pupil who disobeyed the Rule of Two. Even if Darth Venamis, the Stranger's apprentice, was a Bith, and the stranger is undoubtedly human. Nevertheless, the Acolyte might have expanded Plagueis' narrative by adding the stranger as another Darth Tenebrous pupil. This implies that a future conflict between Plagueis and the stranger is almost inevitable, with the stranger coming out on top, according to the prequel trilogy. Perhaps the stranger is not really a Sith. Plagueis further suggests that the stranger might just be a mere imposter and not even a legitimate Sith. There might be other dark side users that identify as descended from the Sith Empire of the Old Republic, aside from the Sith line that followed the Rule of Two and traced back to Darth Bane. Darth Plagueis would also target the stranger if he were one of these pretenders to the Sith lineage. The entire purpose of the Rule of Two was to allow the Sith to amass power while remaining covert, only coming forth when the timing was appropriate. But in the Acolyte, the stranger hasn't exactly escaped attention. His actions on Khofar and in his pursuit of me and Osha posed a risk to the Jedi, signaling the Sith's comeback. Tenebrous may have dispatched Plagueis to assassinate the stranger before he could fully reveal the Sith, knowing that if the Jedi were alerted to be on the lookout for them, it would wreck their 1,000-year plan. Whatever the stranger's true identity, he is obviously very much a part of the dark side's power battle. That much is evident from the mere fact that Darth Plagueis appeared in Episode 8 of The Acolyte. His look also suggests that Osha is now as enmeshed in the dark side as the stranger is, which could turn out to be a very risky situation. If The Acolyte Season 2 occurs, the stranger will undoubtedly play a significant role, and learning the truth about who he is may hold the key to delving far into the Sith.